Army Navy Rugby Day as we edge ever closer towards kick-off. The men's match kicks off at 2 o'clock UK time, so just over half an hour's time from now. And George Wedlake among the team before us. He's there, he's in place. And right over the halfway line, is that right, George?
Yeah, the view couldn't be better. The sun's beaming down and the brass bands have just started as the players are warming up. It really is, for my first time at Twickenham, exactly how you'd want it to be.
It's just a perfect day, isn't it? I mean, we've not had the match now since 2019. To have it back on a day like this with the sun smiling, just adding even more to the atmosphere. But who is making the most noise, in your view, so far?
Well, apart from the British Army band Tidworth that are playing at the moment, I've got to say the general feeling from the outside, based on sheer numbers and the amount of red shirts and jersey, has got to be the Army at the moment. It's at the moment, from what I've seen.
Well, we've got half an hour to go yet. I imagine there's a fair few probably still racking up the queues at the bar before they make their way to their seats. But if the Army are making more noise, does that mean they've got the most face paints and costumes as well? What's happening on the costume front?
It's hard to tell on the costume front, isn't it? There's no giveaways as to who they're supporting, really, because I've seen people dressed up as minions. I've seen people even dressed up as tennis players.
I've seen chickens.
Really confusing.
I was confused by chickens. Yes.
There are chickens, and yeah, basically, it just seems to be. It's a confusing one. You never know where their allegiances kind of lie because, I don't know, as far as I know, there are no minions or tennis matches happening today. So.
You wait till kick-off and see what happens when some points get on the board.
We'll see where they're sitting, yeah, for sure.
Now, Army defending champions, hot favourites again, are they?
It seems that way, and the crowd seem very confident from an Army perspective, although I did speak to one of the parents of one of the Navy players earlier, and it does seem like they are quietly confident this year too, because their team have been working very, very hard, and it was Ben Watson's dad I spoke to. He said he spoke to Ben it must have been about 2 hours ago now, and they are up for it. So I do not think you can write the Navy off for a second.
I mean, it's such an amazing thing to witness as a supporter, but to be playing in that match on that turf, on that pitch, it's just such an incredible stadium. Biggest amateur sporting event in the UK, I've learned today as well.
I mean, you'd never associate the word amateur with this setup and what we're looking at now. I mean, the pitch is absolutely immaculate, as you mentioned, and just the excitement already is building far more than any amateur event I've ever been to. And again, because it's been 3 years since the last due to the pandemic, you can just tell it's going to be that extra bit special this year.
And plenty of noise. We had the Army band playing earlier. I've heard bagpipes earlier today as well. What else might be happening on the musical front?
I've heard from Alice, one of my broadcasting colleagues today, that she saw a band playing outside earlier and they were covering Guns N' Roses. So there's a mixture of stuff happening.
Army Navy Rugby Day and some weekend air guitar as well. Perfect.
For sure.
Right, George, have an amazing day. Keep us posted. We look forward to full match commentary in less than half an hour's time.
The men's game was an action-packed affair with two great teams giving everything they had right up until the final whistle blew. But there was only one team that came out on top in the end. Team Army. Here's their number 6, Sergeant Gareth Smith.
We got the win. Navy pushed us right to the limit, but it was good to see the new lads coming through, dug in deep at the end to get the result that we needed.
And official Sarah Cox made history by becoming the first female to referee Army Navy.
It's been amazing. The atmosphere was unbelievable. It's been a long time for all of us, and I think for us to come back off a really long layoff and enjoy some rugby like that with two teams that just want to play rugby, I think is absolutely brilliant, and it's a lovely showcase as well.
Despite being on the losing side, the Navy's Gareth Rees was awarded man of the match.
Unbelievable. It's my last outing here as well, so I just want to put up a show on for our friends and family. And
I've just found out that you proposed to Amy today, is that correct? Your fiancée?
I did, yes, and I was on one knee and I had cramp in both sides. I don't actually know what she said, yeah.
And how are you feeling after being proposed to at Twickenham Stadium?
I'm just lost for words. I wasn't expecting it at all, but he is my soulmate and I can't wait to travel the world with him. So proud of him.
Proving you don't need to win to have something to celebrate.